Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of No Huddle with Zach Arndt. And today we are taking a look at the Auburn Tigers, giving a little preview for the upcoming 2022 season under head coach Bryan Harsin. Harsin coming into his second year after going 6-7 last year, looking to bounce back. They did make a bowl game. They lost in the Birmingham Bowl to the Houston Cougars. Looking at the staff, as mentioned, head coach Bryan Harsin, offensive coordinator Eric Kiesau, defensive coordinator Jeff Schmedding. Some key players on this Auburn Tiger team: Derek Hall, defensive end. He had 9 sacks and 12 tackles for a loss last year. Running back Tank Bigsby, one of the best running backs in the nation. He is around 6 foot, 215 pounds, a very good sized running back, especially in the SEC West. Then you have Owen Popo, linebacker. He had some injuries last year. He's the middle linebacker, coach on the field for the Tiger defense. Auburn had some key losses in the offseason. They lost Roger McCreary, the corner in the draft. He was Auburn's best cornerback the last couple years. He had 14 pass breakups last year, 2 interceptions, and was first team All-SEC. Zacoby McClain, the linebacker, 96 tackles last year. Led the nation in 2020 with 113 stops and had 268 tackles for his career. Then 3-year starter quarterback Bo Nix transferred to Oregon. He had an up-and-down 2021, but was still known as a solid quarterback. He's going to have to look to replace Bo Nix with either Zach Calzada, TJ Finley, or Robbie Ashford. Zach Calzada, most likely favorite to win the job. He's a low-risk, high-reward player. Started at Texas A&M last year, beat Alabama. Then you got TJ Finley, transferred from LSU. He played 3 games last year when Bo Nix got hurt. They finished the season 6-7 with him. They only had 54% completion percentage. And then thirdly, we have Robbie Ashford, the transfer from Oregon. He won MVP of their spring game and really stood out of the 3. Auburn lost a lot on offense. They're going to have to replace all 3 starting receivers, their left tackle, obviously the quarterback, and they have no returning depth anywhere on the offense. But they do bring back 4 starting linemen: Brandon Council, Nick Brahms, Keandre Jones, and Austin Troxell, along with tight end John Samuel Shanker. Looking at defense, they have Derek Hall returning the big defensive end, along with Colby Wooden off the edge. Nahima High Pritchett at corner, along with Zion Puckett at safety. Just like the offense, not a lot of depth returning on defense. It might be a rebuild year for Bryan Harsin, and that's not a good thing when you're the head coach at Auburn. A lot of pressure. You play the hardest schedule in the nation. Speaking of that schedule, let's take a look at it. They open up with Mercer and San Jose State at home. Should be 2-0 after that. Then you got Penn State at home after going to Happy Valley last year. You have Missouri at home, followed by LSU, and then road trips to Georgia and Ole Miss. You have Arkansas at home, Mississippi State on the road. You have Texas A&M at home, which is good. Western Kentucky out of conference right before the Iron Bowl, which is in Tuscaloosa this year. Last year, they finished the season losing all 5 games. They started the year with wins against Akron, Alabama State, lost to Penn State last year. They did beat LSU last year. They actually gave Georgia one of their hardest tests last year. They lost 34-10, which may not look good, but compared to other opponents that played Georgia last year, Auburn fared pretty well. Looking at 5 important stats for the Tigers. Field position last year, they ranked 96th in the nation. Efficiency on offense, they ranked 65th, and then 61st ranked on defensive efficiency. Explosive plays, they ranked 68th on offense, and then 39th ranked on defense. Finishing drives, they were dead last on offense, meaning when they got in the red zone, they failed to get points, the worst in the country. Defense, though, was 6th in the nation at finishing drives. It means when teams got in the red zone, they held them, 6th best in the country. Adjusted turnover margin, they were projected negative -0.3, which was ranked 75th, compared to 65th actual. Looking at some reasonable expectations for the Auburn Tigers, I have them going 6-6. I think they'll beat Mercer. They'll get a win against San Jose State. Penn State, Week 3, a loss. Missouri, win. LSU, win. Georgia, loss. Ole Miss, a loss. Arkansas, a loss. Mississippi State a W, Texas A&M a loss. I think they'll beat Western Kentucky and then lose to Bama, and that does put them at 6-6 under Brian Harsin. He is on the hot seat going into this year, but when you're the head coach of Auburn, you have the most pressure out of any coach in the country. You're in the SEC. You coach for a team that has a very passionate fan base. You play the hardest schedule every year. You play every SEC West team, along with Georgia, on a yearly basis. So I don't think this is too unreasonable. They could go 7-5 very easily. They could either beat Ole Miss, Arkansas, Penn State, or A&M. You never know. They were just one play away from beating Bama last year. To wrap things up, I'm going to look at some of Auburn's top 22 recruits. Starting off with Robert Woodyard, linebacker out of Mobile, Alabama, the 4-star. You got 4-star corner J.D. Rhyme out of Valdosta, Georgia. 4-star corner Austin Osbury out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 4-star quarterback Holden Greener out of Savannah, Georgia. 4-star D lineman Jeffrey Mba out of Gabon. 4-star offensive tackle E.J. Harris out of Auburn, Alabama. 4-star corner Keontae Scott out of La Mesa, California. 4-star running back Damari Alston out of Atlanta, Georgia, who's an absolute stud. 4-star athlete Omari Kelly out of Trussville, Alabama. Auburn overall had the 21st ranked recruiting class and the 23rd ranked transfer class. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you all have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.